I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can from memory because I went back to my audiobook and I'm a visual learner, so I don't have a space where I was able to like ground that moment where I learned something into like something I could easily refer back to, and I cannot find the spot in the audio, but I remember a lot of what I learned because it was very impactful. It was so impactful that like as I'm taking this road trip and as I'm driving, every time that I stopped, strangers were looking at me kind of like I was glowing. Okay. So like along the way, as I'm like learning these techniques and I'm incorporating them, people are like interested. And this is not my typical experience, by the way. I'm super introverted and sometimes I pretend I'm invisible, right? Like I like to be able to go out in public and like not get a lot of attention from people and just kind of do my thing. Anyways, so I'm listening to this book and she's talking about photons. What are photons? So photons actually exist below subatomic particles. They're even smaller than neutrinos, if you're familiar with human design. So you're made of tissues and organs, right? Those tissues and organs are made of cells. The cells are made of molecules. The molecules are made of atoms. The atoms are made of subatomic particles. And below that is this energy field, okay? This light field. So the way that Dr. Sue explains it is this ability to have awareness of your energy field and move the light or the photons in that energy field back. Okay. So a lot of times we are conditioned to make our happiness dependent on feedback. Okay. So that's moving your light or your energy out to others and kind of like doing this wait and see thing. And so what she's explaining, or the way that I understood it anyway, is to be able to manipulate energy and reality in a way that pulls that light back into your core and makes you feel more creative, right? And more of a light-filled being than how you felt before when you were dependent on how others react to you. And I'm also going to say I have a bit of a foundation of knowledge of how energy moves through the body and the chakra system because I personally study human design. Okay, so human design tells you the shape and the structure of your aura and the way that your aura expresses itself through Hindu Brahmin chakra system, the I Ching, Western astrology, and mystical Kabbalah. So the human design chart looks like this, right? You have awareness of all of these energy centers, and you know which energy centers are active and creative within you. You also know which energy centers you're absorbing and amplifying from the outside. And so I took what I understood of quantum physics and of manifestation and law of attraction and human design, and I combined all of that to consciously pull my energy down through my energy centers to my root center so that I felt grounded in my own body. And I'll tell you, I wasn't in a meditative state because I was driving. This was a conscious, like, breath work. And if you don't know this, the root word of breath, espiritu, is spirit. Okay, so this is like being able to tap into your consciousness and connect that with the physical body experience that you're having. And so I imagine this light energy coming down through the crown, which in my human design chart, my crown is undefined. Everything is undefined until you get all the way down to the root. So I'm imagining this energy, bing, 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 move down, crown, throat, heart, root, and then kind of gathering at the root and me consciously holding that light energy there. And I will say I highly recommend the energy codes for like the actual practice and something that like you can do daily. And she also offers some yoga poses. But for me, just like having that conscious awareness of how the energy moves and how you're able to project. And when you know that you're projecting is when you know that your energy is dependent on what someone else says or does. And when you know that you are centered at your core and you have awareness of your groundedness and your value and your humanness and your ability to be a conscious creator, now all of a sudden the attention is on you because you are filling yourself up with light. So hopefully I explained that well. I don't know. Maybe because I have this foundation in human design, it's like easier for me to conceptualize and harder to explain, but hopefully this helps. If not, please ask me more questions. I'm happy to share what I know.